Alright, I think, yeah, everything should be set up right. Yeah. 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 Okay. Alright, so, my plan for today's stream in side order is I want to work some on like some of these range ones. And I have my the bow, you know, I got my stringer, which has range and speed. There's not a lot of speed stuff I need though, so I am going to try to like prioritize range. But I also only have a slight bias turned on, just in case there's something that comes up from like another set that I don't have fully done, like these lucky ones or something. You know, I don't want to make those not do anything. But yeah, I think my main ones I want to try to do is like main piercing. And like maybe turf drone gauge or turf lucky chain, but like definitely piercing. And probably this hindrance one. I think that would be a good one to get in there. So that's kind of what my plan is. It's my plan of attack. I want to get this mobile ink recovery though. I do want to get that. And maybe mobile drone gauge. So that's kind of my plan, at least for the stringer today. But I might do some other ones as well. I don't think there's really anything else that I need. Oh, I could get disc piece drop as well. You know, if I get lucky things. And then I might do some like dollies or some of the other ones that like I didn't really do on stream. I don't remember which ones I did on stream for the most part, but yeah, that's my plan. It's a loose, but it is what it is. I do. Oh, starting strong. I would like turf lucky chain, please. I do want to mention I do have a full intention to at some point in the near-ish future start up a new like main series. I've been kind of coasting on like random streams for several months now, and I did say well, I don't really have much I can do here other than I guess I could push this myself. Okay, did that work? Okay. I successfully slowed them down slightly. Anyways, yeah, I do want to do a Pokemon Violet Wonderlock in the near future. Oh, Mobile Ink Recovery. That's one of the ones I needed. Look at that. We're starting strong. But yeah, I've been intending to get that rolling in the nearest future. You know, considering I did say, you know, I was gonna try to bring back the Brilliant Diamond Wonderlock that I lost, dependent on subs, like sub goals being met, but that was also dependent on when the you know, DLC for Scarlet and Violet was gonna come out, such that I could do a Wonderlock with everything, you know, in the game present. Cool. So that's kind of one of my main plans. And I was just recently like looking at like one of my randomizer runs, like the artwork that I made for the different like mons on my team, and I'm like, oh man, I kind of want to do that again. Perfect. For another one, but I feel like it's trickier with Wonderlocks, so I think I'd have to do it solely based on name, because like with the randomizer, I was able to do it like, oh, it's based on their ability and maybe their name. You know, there's multiple factors here. But yeah, I don't know. I think that would be fun. I definitely would have to determine what the name theme's gonna be, because I think that would be, I think it would be a good thing to determine in advance. Though actually, I guess no, because I can't really do a name theme in a Wonderlock very easily. Because if someone named it already, they just have to keep the name. So I guess there will be a loose version of a name theme. For if we can rename something, and if we can't, we just kind of have to deal, you know. But back. No, I'm glad that I've learned the exact range on this roughly on this map, because that helps me a lot. Oh, I say that, and then I immediately seem to forget it. And I'm unable to land a shot. Okay. Okay, and then... Okay, so I think it was just that I was being thrown off by the little mini platform that's up there. Gotta nuke those two. That was tricky, but it was worth it to get another thing that could use. Ooh. I think it would be more useful right now to just save up more. So I'm gonna get Max Lucky Chain because that's one of the ones that I could be getting from Lucky, so just to give myself like more options to try to be maxing. All right. Alright, what else can we get? Oh, mobile ink recovery, that is. Alright, that's good. That's the first, second level one I think we've gotten so far. But yeah, I definitely want to do Pokemon Violet Wonderlock soon, because that's something that I've kind of been slow to get to, despite it being like one of the things I've been really wanting to do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a full reset just so that I can try to prioritize some of the ones that I'm like actively working on. So far, not so good. Oh, here's one. Okay. Main piercing too. I'm also trying to finish up my Fakemon like type challenge. Because for a while, like progress really slowed. And it's getting to the point where it's almost been a year that it's been ongoing. And well, that's not like a bad thing necessarily. It's like I definitely wish that I was keeping more up on it. Covered for you. Gotcha. I don't have the money for it now. Hindrance damage. Ooh, and this one gets me a lot of that back, so that's good. Yeah, that's definitely a thing I want to like try to prioritize, the getting that wrapped up. So you might see another like double stream. I'm not sure. Right now I'm trying to get ideas for rock type. So if you have any suggestions, just go to my community tab and find the post where I talk about the last ones that got done. And leave a reply on that. Because honestly, I also have there's posts on Twitter and Blue Sky and Threads about it as well. It's basically the only thing I post on Threads these days. Because Blue Sky is just better. Not that I post much on Blue Sky either, or Twitter. Not too bad. But yeah, I'm trying to take rock type suggestions, so you can find the post like literally like any of the main social media sites that I use that are like linked down below, and you can go and leave a rock type. I'm thankful like a lot of my friends in Discord have been like super helpful and coming up with ideas. If there's nothing I want here, I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah. Stringer time. It's funny, I am not used to like normal stringer sets because I primarily I'm one of the scrubs who primarily uses the reflux as far as like stringers go. So sometimes with this kit, I'm a little rough around the edges. Alright. Got it. I wanted to be good with the original Tri-Stringer, and I just like really struggled with its kit. I'm just not like built to snipe. I wish they had like a wider variety of stringers. I think that's one of my like bigger like disappointments with Splatoon 3 is that they like introduced stringers and they introduced Splatanas, and then they didn't do a lot with either. Like I think there's still only Splatana like Wiper and Stamper, and still only Tri-Stringer and Reflux. Like I don't think they've done any additional types of those weapons, and it's like they're not like, why even make a separate weapon class if you're not going to like do anything with it, you know? Especially when the stringer is like one of the like big marketing staples of this game, because it's like I really like the concept of the Tri-Stringer. I just wish there were like wider varieties of like stringers that were, you know, not like a Reflux, but were maybe like a Tri-Stringer Light or like a heavy Tri-Stringer or something, you know? Because it's like they did do like the Grizzco one, but that's like only in Salmon Run, and that's obviously like a really goofy, ridiculous version of a stringer. And it's like they could take this concept and do more things with it. Yes, that is very helpful in clearing out crowds. I do have a lot of main piercing right now, so it's not like a huge concern, but and that's one of the things that I do struggle with this kit, is I often forget that I have those. But yeah, like they could do like, I don't know, like a unistringer, or like, you know, like there's other things it can do with the stringer than the 3 shots. Because that's the other thing, is the reflux came about because they added the little explosions to the stringer at full charge, or at like half charge. Like they added the little rockets, and so then they went, oh, well, originally we didn't have that, and it was a faster weapon, so we'll just make that like a different weapon. And it's like, okay, but why not do like something similar to a reflux, but that has like smaller ink spread on the ground, that doesn't have rockets, like, you know, like it's, you know, like a reflux in that way, but it has smaller ink spread, but it's just like a faster version of a tri-stringer otherwise. Like, why not do that? Where it's like a quick, useful, like quick charging, sort of sniper type weapon, that's not like your standard snipers. Why not do, you know, one that has a singular, like, larger rocket that it lands with or something, like at full charge? Like, there's a lot of things you can do with stringers. Like, they're a very fun concept, and I feel like they've really underutilized them. It's like, even like give us like a tamped down version of like the Grizzco stringer. Like, give us like the, you know, we have the tri-stringer, why not have like the quad stringer or something, where it works exactly like a tri-stringer but with 4 shots that have a little more spread. So it's kind of like they all have the explosions, but those explosions do, or just like kind of function differently, you know? I don't know. Like, have the quad stringer be, you've got like 4 rockets with larger explosions, but they spread, so it's not as good for sniping, but maybe it's good for like inking areas long range or something, or, you know, putting pressure up to keep people out of a space because, you know, you're putting little explosives down at a long range. So instead of being like a sniper option, primarily it's like crowd control. Because I could see that being useful in like a ranked setting, you know? Run low on this. Okay. I'll take Max Lucky Chain, even if it's got some danger. Like, I feel like that is kind of what the tri-stringer is, but I feel like it at least, you know, the shot gets pretty tight, which allows you to like snipe people with it. I think having one where the max charge has a larger explosion than the tri-stringers, with more rockets, but then having those, you know, rockets not group as tightly at full charge, could be like a nice sort of expansion on the concept, you know? Because, like, even if you look at, like, the Tri-Stringers kit, I think the original kit was what, Tusk Toxic Mist, and I think it's literally this kit, like the one that's in this, which like is a good kit for like a sniper set. I don't know what the other Tri-Stringer kit is. I think does it have a splash wall, which is like another common sniper kit. Can't remember what it is. But I don't know. Like I feel like you could make like a more like a stringer that is less about kills and that's more about pressure and ink, but that's also not just a reflux, you know, which is more about, you know, inking, and then kind of about pressure with its, you know, ton of missiles if you're using the OG reflux. Where'd you go? Not getting out of there. You're dying. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm loosely coming up with these ideas, like, on the fly. There's probably better versions. Super Chump is the other one. Oh, okay. That's right. I feel like that one, yeah, if it's Sprinkler and Super Chump, that's kind of, I guess that kit is more of the, like, pressure and ink, because I feel like that's kind of all those do, but that's not a good kit, honestly. I feel like for a Tri-Stringer. And again, this game's kits have generally been like a little sus to people, so maybe that is just another one that's like that. Well, I am all out, so homing shots benefit me. Not really. I'll just take out the danger and get a burst bomb, because why not? I got one thing done at least, so I just want to, in the last 10 floors, try to get the others that I have planned done. Oh. Oh, not this one. This one in the dark? Are you kidding me? I was like, which map is this even? No, not yet. I started with the stringer, and then, yeah, I can do dualies next. Because I do want to work on getting my, like, the last of my lucky ones, and I know dualies are good for lucky, so. That would be a useful one to have. Nope. Get off. Ah, cool. Get out of here. Got it. Woo. I don't think so. Alright. Yeah, honestly, I think that's the biggest thing they needed to do with something like, you know, Splatoon 4. I think with 3, they got a little overly concerned with, kind of the fan response to how, like, they were releasing, like, weapons that came out in Splatoon 1, you know, over the course of the game. So it was like this, you might have this main weapon that you were used to using, that you were hoping to be able to use in 2, and it would take a while for it to even come out. And obviously the kit would be different, but, like, it would just take a while to get access to that weapon at all. And while I can kind of understand where someone would, you know, feel that way, I feel like in the end, kind of reversing that mindset with Splatoon 3 and opting to prioritize, like, you know, oh, every main weapon from 1 and 2 has at least, like, 1 kit or something like that. Like, that mindset for this meant that, like, the new weapons in this game, well, they didn't have, like, one, they didn't have a lot of kits in general, but, like, they didn't have a lot of new weapons early on. Go up. I'm gonna target that with this. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they definitely missed out on the option to do a lot of interesting stuff because they felt so beholden to the idea of, like, you know, giving everyone access to their old weapons, like, as soon as possible. And it's like, I get it. I get where that comes from, but, like, I don't know. I feel like there's value in also prioritizing, like, oh, making the existing weapon base of, like, new weapons more interesting and, like, have more variety. And, you know, here we are, almost to the end of the game's support, and, like, there's 4 types of stringers total. And, you know, I think 4 types of Splatanas total, if you're not counting the, you know, Grisco variants. Which, like, I wouldn't count the Grisco ones, because obviously they're not in, like, standard gameplay. And even in, like, Salmon Run, they're relatively rare ones to see pop up. And, like, they're fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I think they're awesome. I just think that it's like, Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of disappointing because it's like you have these two like really cool new weapon concepts and very little's been done with them, and it's like, man, I wish we could get more, because I feel like there's no point in not having more, because it's just like, I don't know. They're fun weapons, and there's a lot of things you can do. I feel like Splatana's might be slightly more limited in like the concept you could come up with. Like I could understand them, you know, maybe struggling to come up with Splatanas, but it's like the stringers have like a decent variety of options. They just haven't done much with them and with those options. Okay, got one. Didn't realize he threw a bomb out there until it was too late. Coming for you. But yeah, I think it would be really fun to see if they, because they are kind of treating this as like this is the end of the Splatoon 1 through 3 trilogy. I think what they need to do with 4 is they need to just overhaul their main weapons. I think they should do away with some. They should just do it. Why not? Emphasize others. This game really should have had, you know, more stringers and Splatana options, and just go for it. Like, do what you should have done with this one in the first place with 4, you know. Any new weapon kits you come up with, go crazy. Do a bunch, you know, right at launch. You know, just like dive into it. You know, come up with maybe 5 options for main kits for each or something like that. And then just do 2 or 3, you know, of the main versions. I'm gonna do this one. Like do like 2 or 3 of the main ones. Then you can still have the second kits come out later. You can have the new ones, like the other 2 or 3 that you didn't do, come out later. But then you get like a wider variety a lot faster, and you can really explore like, oh, what makes this weapon type special. Oh, hey everybody. I think so. Oh no, you're fine. which one? All right, wait, let me check my palette. Okay, so Turf Lucky Chain is the range one that I'm still working on. Max Lucky Chain. Another one I'm working on. It's funny they got Max Lucky Chain before I got Turf Lucky Chain, but that's okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true, because the Dolly Squelchers replaced the oh, what did they call it? Was it just the Dual Squelcher, I think was what it was called, from Splatoon 1, where it was basically exactly what the Dolly Squelchers were, but the Dolly Squelchers were as Dollies. Which was like a very fitting overhaul, where they just completely got rid of a weapon because they replaced it with a more fitting option. Because like all the Dual Squelcher was just the Squelcher with higher fire rate and slightly reduced range and damage. That was actually one of my favorite kits in Splatoon 1. So I really thought I would like the Dolly Squelchers. I did not. I actually did not vibe with them at all. And it was just that I didn't vibe much with Dollies. Which I honestly remember seeing Splatoon 2, I really thought, like, the Dollies are, like, the weapons for me. And then they did the test fire, and I tried the Dollies, and I was like, these don't... I don't know, I don't vibe with them. I thought I would. But yeah, I think, honestly, they could do more like that. That should be a thing. Like, they should just take more things and go, okay, so we have this weapon. You know, we have this existing weapon. How can we take this and make it into, like, a different weapon class entirely? You know, how do we take the same concept and play with it in a completely different weapon set? That could have some really interesting options. Like, I don't know, I'm thinking like how the Explosher is almost like a slosher version of a blaster. I'm just imagining like a bow that shot just an explosive shot, like an Explosher. That's not what I'm looking for though, so I'm gonna reset again. Because I only have 2 floors left. So I kind of have to get it now, or I don't get it. Alright, looks like I'm not getting it unless I get it as a twofer on the next one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Poison Ink to get the most Membucks possible to get the most time, like the most opportunities to reroll on floor 29 and hopefully get like a 2x. Oh, but I have to be on this floor. Okay. That's okay. I don't mind this floor as much as most people. Like, it's definitely like, yeah, you have to run back and forth a lot and deal with the enemies. Which is like, sure, it's a little annoying, but it's like, I don't know. I've had sets where this floor was really hard, though, so it's like maybe you just, if you're not running a set that can go back and forth all that quickly, it's really tough. Like, I could see that. So they got the other floor. Oh. That's okay. I'll just take these guys out. If I had like slightly higher range, this would be a little easier because I could just take them out from above. See ya. gonna take this floor back first. Alright, so they're gonna take that one. Get these guys out before they can do anything. I'm coming for you. See you. I think one slipped through, but just gonna get this back real quick before I return to take that one out. Yep. Oh, there's three now. Maybe all three slipped through. Work on just clearing some stuff out. Ooh. Nope. Okay. I got it. So far, so not good. This might be my best option. So I'm gonna go here and see if I can find it. Yeah, the sniper rider honestly could have been a stringer. Make it like a crossbow stringer or something. To sort of like justify it. You know, call it like the bolt action stringer or something. And you just, by charging it, you load up. Yeah, can't get it. Alright, that's it. By charging the bolt action stringer, you're just loading rounds into it, basically. I think that would honestly have been really sick. Because that's the other thing, is like they came up with other like new kits for other types of weapons, but then, you know, didn't come up with new kits for the new types of weapons. That's a little disappointing. Got a couple things finished up. Yeah, I didn't do anything. I was curious if that would boost the damage to this at all. Did not. Oh. There's the last one. I'm not sure how that one got mostly killed. Oh, there it is. I was like, where's the other one back here? Gotcha. That run felt quicker than it was. Alright, I've got a couple things maxed. $182 additional pearls. Yeah, I got main piercing fully upgraded. Got hindrance damage fully upgraded. So turf drone gauge, turf lucky chain are the last two in that set. And then I also need rush ink, which I can only do with kits that have rush. Yeah, so I still have disc piece drop and lucky chain window to get. So with the dualies, I should be able to clear those out super easily. Dualies. So they also have purple really well. What purple things do I still need? I think it's just the Brella one. Yeah, okay. So if it's just the Brella one, I think I'm gonna prioritize, could maybe do, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot left for me to get, so yeah, I think with the dualies here, I'm gonna do just trying to finish these two up, and then maybe, I don't know, sound wave damage. Do I have a sound wave as my default special? No. Interesting. Oh, I think that actually has rush damage, so I might... Well, I can't do rush damage. I don't know if that... Would that be one that would give me rush ink? Because what is it? It's rush... No, it's moving ink speed. Okay, I definitely couldn't get that, I don't think. I think rush damage was maxed already. Is rush damage not in that set? Oh yeah, rush attack's maxed. Okay. That's okay. Well, it's okay. Yeah, a lot of these are kind of like the more only one weapon kit gets them type things. Yeah, I've done max dodge rolls. I did max dodge rolls, I think the same run that I did max rush damage. Or no, max rush damage was a ink brush one. But I did max rolls, and I did the roll attack to just absolutely just destroy things by just rolling back and forth through a crowd. And you just see like 20 enemies get exploded. That was very satisfying. Especially because I'm not like particularly good with my dodge rolls at like doing this, you know, to like mow someone down. I'm not super good at like quickly adjusting my aim like that. So just being able to roll back and forth. Oh. You're on it. Cool. But yeah, honestly, I think Nintendo should really embrace the concept of the roguelite. I think they could do this type of thing in so many different game types, and it would be just as awesome in all of them. Okay, so I don't have the option to do anything else. I'll just go for the one that gives me the most membucks then. Like, honestly, I think, one, Pokemon should bring back the idea of the, you know, Battle Frontier or something. Like, that's another Nintendo property I think would benefit from the roguelite, because there have been multiple Pokemon, like, roguelites to exist. I mean, there's Pokemon Emerald Rogue, Poke Rogue just recently came out, and I've been playing around with that in my spare time here and there. Minor gripes about it aside, I think it's really fun and really cool. I actually enjoy it more than Emerald Rogue. Emerald Rogue for me was too long of a process. It was a commitment, because I tried like doing, I think I might have done one Emerald Rogue stream or something to that effect, and I was just like, the runs are so long. I don't want to stream this. Like I don't stream as long as a run lasts in most cases. So it was just like I just felt like I had to like either split my runs up across multiple streams, meaning I couldn't play the game at all off stream, or I had to have the aim to, or the range to go up there. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like Pokemon Emerald Rogue was a bit frustrating of a roguelite experience because it was a really like time intensive and heavy roguelite. And I think one of the things that makes a roguelite work is being relatively bite-sized, at least in that you can like have a stopping point. And one, Poke Rogue has multiple saves. I could have 3 simultaneous runs going in Poke Rogue. I could not do that in Emerald Rogue. I could have just one. So if I was streaming Poke Rogue and I needed to, you know, stop a run partway through, because hey, you know, that's all for my stream or whatever, I could do that and still go and on my own play like another run. And I think that's really enjoyable about it. With this is so bite-sized. I can do multiple runs in a stream and just carry on. But I think what they should do, Pokemon-wise for it, is they should have a, you know, bring back the Battle Frontier and have basically a place that's just a roguelite. You know, maybe, you know, while you're in it, you have to catch Pokemon, or you're given Pokemon partway through. You get different upgrades. Honestly, it's almost like an expanded version of like the max rated like adventures. Coming for you. But yeah, I think Pokemon could benefit from it if they brought back like a Battle Frontier style thing, and that was just one of the modes. I could play that all day probably, you know. and I think that that's something that can be done like in other Nintendo franchises as well, to like a really good effect. I don't know, there's something about it that like you could do maybe something akin to that in like a I guess I'll do this. No, I don't. It's a bit of a waste. Oh, what do I do? I can't re-roll. I could go to the vending machine and get one thing. That's, you know what? What? Wow, that's rude. I'm going because you said that. Do you even have the money to buy stuff at the vending? Yes, I have money to buy one thing at the vending machine. Don't judge me. I can buy one thing. Okay, honestly, this would actually be useful to have at least one of. So I'll get that. Look at that. But yeah, I don't know. I think part of me wonders if like you could do something with F-Zero and roguelite mechanics where you're kind of like you're modifying your you know, your racer or something. You could probably do something like it with the Star Fox series. Hmm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. I would have died there under normal circumstances. But I don't know. I think Star Fox could also work for it. I think I was saying that. But one that I think would be really fun would be give us a roguelite in Zelda. Like, you know how they had like in Tears of the Kingdom, they have like the monster the hunting crew where they go around and like fight monsters and stuff. Literally give us a game where we play as like a member of that. And by playing the game, well, I think there's two options. One, give us like a crew-based horde game using those guys. Or, as the other option, give us a roguelite where you play as, like, one guy in that, and, you're doing different tasks to, like, fight off hordes. Maybe even make it a multiplayer roguelite. I don't know. Could you do that? Maybe. I think it would be fun. F-Zero, almost. I think F-Zero 99 did really well early on. I think that helped give them a little interest in it. If they do anything with it, I don't know. Star Fox is definitely closer, though, to full just not being relevant, full franchise death. Which is a shame. I think it's a very fun franchise. I like recently picked up Star Fox Zero, and I think honestly, here it is. I recently picked it up, just out of one curiosity. I'd never played it. I'd played other Star Fox games, and I'd heard my controller. But I'd played the other Star Fox games. Like, I played Star Fox 64, especially 64 3D. I'd played the original, emulated on the Switch. I might have even beaten the original emulated on the Switch, because I had the ability to rewind and undo my mistakes. But when I played Star Fox Zero, it was interesting how they tried to modernize the game, and in doing so, they almost made it worse than it was. It wasn't a bad game, but one, the new vehicle modes definitely weren't as entertaining as they hoped they would be for people. Two, well, I think it used dual screens really well in some aspects. Cutscenes would happen on one screen, but like the game would still be going on the other, so you could be shot during the cutscene or run into enemies during the cutscene, and I didn't know that. So there would be times I would like suddenly notice, I'm like, oh my god, my controller's vibrating. I thought it was part of the cutscene. Turned out I was getting shot or something, and I was like half dead at the start of a boss fight because I was watching the cutscene of the boss emerging for the boss fight, and I'm like, why would you make it so that would happen? But, the other issues I had were, like, it tried to do the thing where it's like, oh, it's like Star Fox, where you're going to the different planets. And it tried to do it in somewhere between a mission-based setup, like Star Fox Assault. Oh, what did I get? Dodge roll attack. I didn't even realize I got dodge roll attack in this. In this run. Oh, it's probably because I had the blue saturation. Just thinking about it. But like, I don't know, like they try to do like a mission-based structure, but where you're unlocking routes on the map, and I'm like, that doesn't work. Like that doesn't work together. I think you need to do either short bite-sized arcade, like, the original Star Fox or Star Fox 64, or you need to do like a full mission-based, story-based game like Star Fox Assault, which Star Fox Assault, really fun game. I loved that as a kid, and I would play the multiplayer with like my siblings a lot. My brothers were big into it, especially like my second oldest brother. He and I would play the multiplayer in Star Fox Assault so much. And he was like really big into like being a sniper in it. And like sometimes we'd play like with our friends and stuff, and it was just a really good time. Genuinely a really fun experience. Right. But like I don't know, I feel like Star Fox could be revived by just making the right decision with a property just once, and going from there. I think Star Fox could be rescued. F-Zero, I think, is harder to rescue solely because I think Nintendo wants to do something unique with it. You know, they want to make it so that it's not just Mario Kart, but without items. And I think they want to make it so that it's, you know, it has some gameplay variety and it isn't just Forza but Nintendo version or something, you know, where it's like, oh, it's a, you know, it's just a racing game with no items and stuff, and it's very skill-based. I think they want to do something that makes it kind of stand out, and they're struggling to come up with new ways to do that doesn't turn it into Mario Kart. And so I think that's part of why they have really been dormant with it, and I think F-Zero 99 making it a Battle Royale was the closest they've ever gotten. I think that all of the 99 games are kind of bad Battle Royale games. I also don't think it needs to be a 99 racer Battle Royale, but I think that's the right direction for F-Zero. I think if they made F-Zero more about the fact that, you know, a lot of these people are like outlaws and criminals or bounty hunters or whatnot, you know, but it's also this high stakes race, and they rolled with that and made it like a battle royale racing game with maybe 50-person lobbies instead of 99 to make it so that lobby wait times are just smaller. Put in a larger variety of characters, because the games have like a lot of characters. Like it's not like they don't have a lot of characters in F-Zero. I think they could revive it. I think it could come back like stronger than ever. I think it could be Nintendo's big gritty series, you know. It would be F-Zero. Part of me wonders if that's in any way like part of their plan, because they've it's been confirmed that Nintendo is kind of hitting a product slump, so to speak. They actually recently announced, and while Nintendo itself like almost never has internal layoffs, their contractors, they will sometimes lay off the contracting companies, which will in turn usually result in those contracted companies laying off those employees. So it's you know, sort of it sort of becomes a layoff, despite the fact that it's not them actively like just firing a bunch of staff. That's like kind of as far as they get in that direction. I'll take one of these, even though I don't have it, in case I get Pearl Road Scream. But yeah, they recently announced that, you know, one of the companies that they work with is no longer going to be working with them, which if that company then lays off the people who were there dedicated to just working on Nintendo game testing, that's probably like 100 staff members that could have their jobs, you know, just poof away. which kind of sucks. But Nintendo stated that the reason was that, you know, they were entering a period of less games. There's nothing. They're basically out. They're no more. Like, they're winding down on the Switch, and they delayed. Supposedly, they delayed the release of whatever the successor to the Switch is going to be, and by doing that, they're going to enter a slump of just no new games for the most part for quite a while. Or at least long enough that they did not need to be working with one of their game testing contracting companies. So, like, a lot of contractors are going to have their jobs affected by this. And it literally boils down to, like, they don't have any more games to test Switch-wise. Which is a little suspicious. And I think it's probably that for new releases on a new console, they probably aren't having them tested by the same teams. Because they're more hush-hush about them. Where are the dudes? Oh, they're up here. I'm so bad at doing the super jumps. Or not the super jumps, but the charged jumps. Gotcha. But yeah, I think Switch development is basically done. There's rumors that they delayed whatever's coming next. And have continuously done that too. Like, it's not like this is the first delay. And the rumors regarding the delays were that they were delaying so they would have a stronger launch lineup to develop more of the games for its new console launch. So I'm honestly curious if they're, really focusing on this launch lineup, if any of the games that will be launching will be in those, like, recently, like, dormant series for the most part. Like, I feel like they could get away with a couple really easy ones in their launch lineup, like Zelda remaster / remake type deals. Like, Breath of the Wild 4K. I don't know. Like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom remastered double pack or something. But then they would also probably have some new titles. Like I could see them doing like, here's I don't know, Metroid Prime 2 remaster on the Switch 2, and it runs even better and looks even more gorgeous than the first remaster on the Switch did, despite being like literally one of the most beautiful games on the Switch. I don't know, like they could do something like that as launch lineup titles that are like relatively safe and easy. But part of me also thinks that some of those titles might be new releases. The next Mario Kart, the next 3D Mario. I don't think they're going to release the next big Zelda anytime immediately. But you know, based on that, it's like we've seen what their Switch heavy hitters were. What if their next console heavy hitters are like the revival of Star Fox and making it like amazing for the first time in a little while. Gonna see what's at this. You know, doing something with, I don't know, what are some other series of theirs that have been kind of dormant, of their like big series for the most part. There's nothing I want here. But yeah, I don't know, like, no, I could see them trying to shake up the heavy hitters a little bit by doing some degree of like, oh, we're reviving this series on this console, we're reviving this series. I could see it. But yeah, no, like right now, I think F-Zero is barely alive. I think F-Zero 99 is the first thing to give a suggestion that it might be less dead than we thought. But yeah, I think honestly, some degree of like their main game priorities being shaken up wouldn't be a bad thing. Ooh, Turf Lucky Chain. Yes, please. If I can get that, that'll be huge. What are some of their other like kind of dead / dormant franchises that I'm like not even thinking of? I mean, Kid Icarus has been dead since Kid Icarus Uprising, which was the first revival it had since Smash Brawl, where they brought Pit in as kind of like a classic rep. That really shook him up conceptually because of that. Ah! Alright, I need to go up here. Oh, that does boost that sound wave damage, actually, so sound wave damage wasn't all bad. It also boosts the damage from the CD, so actually, sound wave damage, pretty smart. I guess I can stop entirely deprioritizing sound wave damage on this run. It wouldn't hurt with the kit that I've got going. No, not too much. I've just been kind of rambling about kind of ways I think it would be nice for Nintendo to like sort of revive some of their more dormant franchises, and you know, shakeups that they could do with like the new console coming up. Yeah, that type of stuff. And also almost dying probably a couple times, but somehow surviving. I would like... Sure, I'll take it, why not? I don't know, I think there's some cool stuff they could do down the line. I think there's some things Nintendo could experiment with more, and do like really fun and interesting new takes on like existing series with. Oh my god, I died. Wow, it's been a while since I died. I just could not see where I was, and I tried to roll past enemies that were quite definitively in my way. Hey, Finn. Oh, there's a sniper in the dark. I hate that. I'm being swarmed. I can't see. Alright. Okay. You go away. Hi, Finn. I have a cat. He is here now. Why do you have the rubbies now? Ow! Don't bite my wrist. Alright, Fanny. I'm in a boss fight. You're gonna have to... And cease your drooling on me. I'm sorry. Got it. Turf Lucky Chain. Vending machine. If I get the vending machine right now, I could probably afford 3 Turf Lucky Chains if I got it. But it's kind of hard to find. Oh, I'm doing it. Because then I can also get my 1 life back. So I'm going to do that. I'm doing it. One of the other things I've been doing a lot in my spare time lately has been... so I'm just gonna preface this. I do not play many like AAA titles all that often, unless we're talking like Nintendo AAA titles. Especially not ones that are like on consoles. I tend to primarily play, if it's gonna be like a AAA title on PC, I play like one that's like a PC exclusive, or that's mostly PC exclusive. But lately I've been playing. Sure, it's another danger floor. Might as well. I've been playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I had not at any point played. I had some friends in college who did play it, and so I'd like sometimes kind of casually see them playing, but you know, I hadn't played it myself. Which, you know, my impression of it was that, like, oh, it's like a Souls-like, but it's, you know, Star Wars themed. And I was like, oh, I don't think Souls-likes really appeal to me. What I did not know is that the fact that it's Star Wars themed makes it feel like the least balanced in the favor of the enemy Souls-like in existence. Because it's like, imagine a Souls-like, but if the enemies were almost always at a disadvantage to you, and throughout the game they rapidly become less and less capable of fighting you. Granted, I've been playing on like normal difficulty, but I've been really enjoying it. It's a good time. I'm not good enough at video games for Souls-likes, but this one is an easy one, and I appreciate that. Instead, I just get to like power trip as a Jedi for a while and carry on. Gotcha. What do you mean finally? I mentioned when I started playing it. I mentioned. Or maybe I mentioned when I bought it, and I didn't say I'd been playing it. I played like 4 hours, and then Side Order came out, and I stopped playing, and then I started playing again recently. And I have been enjoying it quite greatly. It took some getting the hang of things early on, but I have at least enough of an understanding that I can brute force my way through most things. I don't always pick up what it's putting down. I feel like the game sometimes expects you to think like, oh, I could like do this thing, and I don't often make the connection. Like, I just recently beat the one boss that's like the giant bat. And I didn't realize that there was any time that it was expecting me to like force pull it, because it's like a big giant boss enemy, and I'm like, whoa, force pull's better on like small things to pull them close to you, or like, you know, upgraded, you can like pull over like enemy troopers and stuff and stab them for an instant kill, and I'm like, oh, I just never assumed that that would work on a boss. You know, or like, I knew I could do it against like the Sentinel dudes or whatever they're called. But I think overall it's for the most part pretty good. And it's early on I definitely struggled with like the readability of the game itself because it's very naturalistic in like a lot of its aesthetics. So it was kind of tricky for me to determine like, oh, what should I be looking for as like a climbable surface or for this type of surface. But over time I've gotten better at like distinguishing those. Which that was nice. Yeah, no, I think it's I think honestly all Soulsborne style games are a little bit like the modern take on like a Metroidvania style game in like a 3D environment. And I think yeah, I definitely get more like Metroid Prime vibes playing this than I expected, because a lot of it is because well with other Soulsborne games, it's not like you're getting like a lot of new abilities. You're just like unlocking faster paths through places and stuff like that. So the level design kind of folds back on itself in a lot of ways, and I think that's very key to like the Metroidvania, but also to like Soulsborne style games. But this one, it's like, oh, I got this new ability that allows me to do this thing. Yeah, sure. I'll get that. Is there any one other level of thing I can get? Or is it the exact same one? Okay, I'm just gonna leave. Like I think of like I've been enjoying some of the jank in the game too. It's not a particularly janky game, but there's like a couple types of jank that I can kind of make happen. Like I recently, like it was shortly after I got the Force Pull, I realized that I could sometimes use it at a slightly longer range than the game expected you to grab vines. So I made the vine would like have to stretch to meet me, like more than it was designed to. And because of that, it would then quickly go back to its normal length after I grabbed it, which would make me swing so fast. Like, it just forced me to swing at, like, insane speeds. Sorry, I'm being swarmed. But yeah, like I enjoyed that little bit of jank that I stumbled across, and I used it at one point. Actually, at a couple points, just to see, like, to kind of make things easier on myself. I was exploiting the vine physics, but. But yeah, no, it's a pretty fun game. And if anyone wants to get it, like, I highly encourage checking it out, especially if it's on like sale or something. That's how I got it. It was like 60% off during like a Steam sale at one point, and I was like, oh, I've heard a lot of good things, and everyone's saying I gotta play this. So I just went ahead and I got it, and I have not regretted it. Why not? Very fun game. Alright. Ink coating floor. Wow. Fair enough. It's but yeah, what else have I been doing lately? What am I doing on things? So yeah, I got those 2 maxed. Turf Lucky changed the main range one I'm looking for. Sure. I'll toss a turf drone gauge on there. It's not maxed. I just recently finished my Overwatch Battle Pass for this season. But I've been playing a lot of Overwatch up until that point. Now I'm kind of on my cooldown period until the next season. Though I'm kind of curious, because starting in Season 10 of Overwatch, they're getting rid of the Battle Passes being how you get access to new characters. Like, at least as like a, you know, like way to unlock them. It was like, oh, you could buy the Battle Pass, and you'll get access to the character immediately, or if you don't buy the Battle Pass, you get the access to the character at level like 35 on the Battle Pass or something. So like a little less than halfway through. Which is like very doable. Like, that's not a hard thing to do if you're playing actively. But I've been really trying to like figure out, you know, because what I'd been doing up to this point is I'd buy the Battle Pass if there was a new hero. But now I was like fully planning to buy like every other Battle Pass basically, unless it was a Battle Pass for like story missions or whatnot. Then I would buy it as well, because it would basically come with the story missions. Or the story missions would basically come with the Battle Pass, not like explicitly, but kind of. But anyways, so like. You know, with the new heroes no longer being tied to the Battle Pass, I'm kind of curious, like, what I'm gonna do, because it's like, am I still gonna just do every other Battle Pass and like get the Battle Passes based on if there's like a mythic skin that I really like, or, you know, what am I gonna do? Because it's like, I definitely have played more Overwatch now that Overwatch 2 has a Battle Pass. And while I don't like Battle Passes in games for the most part, it's like, I don't know. It's like, at least I enjoy playing Overwatch, and it gave me a reason to, like, to continuously play. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious where I'm gonna wind up with it in the end. The backwards end looking one. I don't know a lot about Cyrillic alphabet stuff, but I think that's a fair take. I don't know. But yeah, the the other one's been taken. I'm coming for you. Ah. Coming for you. Oh, that'll help. Yeah, I figured the other one was due to be taken. You thought. I'm gonna fall back. These guys out. Okay. Can reclaim this. Got it. What else have I been doing? I feel like that's most of what I've been doing. I don't know. I live a boring life. I work and then I do like 1 or 2 entertaining things a week, and then I stream, and I do 1 or 2 entertaining things a week. At the same time, I live a happy enough life. Gotcha. Where is his tentacles at? Oh. I'm coming for you. Missed. There we go. I already got another one. And having that max is kind of fun. Alright. Last one. Gotcha. Splat. Alright. I hadn't seen Aidmon before. Why does it look like that? I think the bandage arms are kind of sick, and everything's sick. I don't really care for the kissy lips. It's a little uncomfy looking that way. I guess it gives like smoochum vibes, and not in a good way. I looked that one up and was like, makes me uncomfortable. I think the bandages on the arms are kind of sick, and like the overall like outfit works. It's just that like then you get to the face and I'm like, you lost me. Pearls acquired. Alright, I think I've officially bought everything I actually care about in this. So, I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to start getting the gear, and I'm going to start with the cool one. That's the coolest one. It's such like a serene and pretty area in Splatoon. Like at first I wasn't a huge fan of like the fact that it was just pastel pink, and I was like, oh, I hope that as you complete stuff, like you de-grayscale the area and like things become colorful. But honestly, there's something really pleasant about this space, just from a visual standpoint. I just like to be here. It depends on the type of assets and what the original creator's intent behind it is. One of the things, and it's funny because this is something that's taught to people like studying computer science a lot, but apparently a lot of people developing AI tools conveniently forget this fact. Every image that's created or every asset that's created by someone has usage rights. And some are, free to use for nonprofit things. Some are, I think that's Creative Commons. In general, or I think Creative Commons is anyone can use it for anything. Then there's like non-monetized, like a non-monetized version of that. So it's like if it's like an asset that was made really like formally, then there might be something like that. You could look into like what's the licensing on the asset. And that includes like 2D, 3D, sound, really like anything that can be copyrighted, that can be posted online, has those types of like rights. Because like some things is like, oh, you pay me a one-time fee and you can use it. Some it's like you pay me royalties and you can use it. So it kind of depends. If you're looking at like more like amateur things, like say like my pixel art or something, on like DeviantArt, I care more about just getting like permission, or being credited. Permission is especially nice. Being credited is like pretty good for me. Like if I'm like, it's good enough, but I would like to like know what it's going to be in first. Like, so I'd personally prefer like if someone came to me and said, hey, can I use your sprite? I'm making this fan game and I really liked your version of this or something. Then it'd be like, yeah, sure. Depending on what it is. Okay, I just looked up Rebootmon. That is very sick. And so it's like it definitely depends on the person who made it, and like what type of asset it is. And like in some cases, like people are stingier than others. Like for me, like I would have more concerns depending on like what my asset's being used for. Like, for example, I can actually show if I open. So there's a sprite that I did that was going to be a commission, but they never responded after like the first draft of it was done. And that is this sprite here. So this was done. They wanted a Gen 1 style sprite of just anything. It was a very loose commission that they were going to do, and they were willing to pay like my standard commission rate for it. But where they kind of fell off, and this is what kind of suggested to me, I think they were doing it for like an NFT collection or something. Because one of the things that I said was, if this is going to be like for like an NFT, I would need more than this payment. I would want this payment and a portion of any proceeds made afterwards, from the sale of it as an NFT. Like I would want the royalties, or a portion of the royalties that this would make, because it's like, it's my work, and I'm not fully opposed to the idea of it, of someone making an NFT from my work, but I would like to see the money from it if they're planning to sell it for like thousands of dollars and I charge them like $12. There's a disconnect there. So I was like, if you're going to use this for something, commercial, like an NFT, then I would ask for a royalty fee. And I forget what royalty fee I said. And so they probably were intending to do it that way. And I was also like, when I sent them the kind of previews, they were kind of jumbled and scrambled and something that they wouldn't want to be using as like an NFT. Like it was purposefully distorted so that they couldn't use it. And like they're they kind of like stopped following up, so the thing was canceled. And so because it was canceled, I was like, well, in that case, I'm gonna fully take back ownership of this sprite, because it's not done and I did it, and I think it's not bad. I named the little dude Moused Out, gave him a name, and I think it's a pretty good sprite. It was the first time I'd ever done like a Gen 1 style 4-color sprite, and I was really happy with it. And it's a shame that things fell through. But I think they were hoping to get off on a low price commission and return on that investment by making it like an NFT or something and making a ton of money off that. And now it's on DeviantArt for free. If someone wanted to download it and look at it and use it for whatever, I uploaded it there, and I actually have 2 versions of it on my computer. I have one that's grayscale and one that's using one of the palettes from Gen 1. If you had a Game Boy Color, Onmon and Offmon. Okay, I gotta see these guys. I like Bootmon more than Shutmon. But I gotta see. Onmon's cute. I like Onmon. Oh, Offmon is so good. Offmon's awesome. I like those two. They're very cute. For sure. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is most people at the end of the day don't care too much if you use their assets for something that's entirely not for profit and done out of like a passion for the thing. Like a lot of people are okay with that as long as you're not trying to take ownership, as long as you're crediting the original artist or the original team behind something. They're usually pretty chill. I've almost every piece of music that I've ever used on my channels, I would ask for permission to use it first, or find like explicit permission that I could use it. For when I do like actual uploads on my channel, I actually use a song as my outro that's by the same creator as Markiplier's horror outro, which is Haunted by Shirk. I reached out to Shirk for use of just like their music in videos and stuff, and they were super chill about it, and they were like, yeah, go for it, like go right ahead. I'm super open to that. So I did that for a long time on a variety of channels, but currently I use that for my outro. I use a song by Shirk. Which one is it? I have to double check. I literally heard it, and the first time I heard it, I was like, oh my god, this gives like outro vibes, and I really liked it. Which one is it? I literally have a playlist of songs that I really liked by Shirk. Is it? Is it this one? Oh yeah, it is. It's called Black Numbers by Shirk. And it's one of my favorite songs by them. And so I use it as my outro. Where is it? Is there a way I can add that to this? Just I can mute the switch and I can show that song. Is it just a media source? Yeah. I have an existing source for music? What do I put that on? Where did I put a music source? What stream did I put a music source on? What? That's my my old, like, I'm starting my stream soon thing. So I'm just going to get a thing called temp music. Use, no, okay, it's on my channel itself. Videos. Outro. Okay, that's my outro audio. All together. Do I not have it saved to my channel or saved to my computer anymore because it was on my old one? It's possible I don't have it saved to my computer in full anymore. That's a shame. Well, that's okay. It's a good song. I highly recommend you check it out. I don't know, the first time I heard it, it gave me like this like sense of kind of like nostalgia, and it was like really chill and vibey, but also like slightly dark. I was like, that fits like the color palette of my channel very well. It's like, it's kind of vibey and weird and you know, darker tones for the most part. Like the shade of purple I have is 37.5% of the way to white as far as brightness goes. It's 75% of the brightness of that specific hue. Yeah, I've been going for a while. I am planning to wrap up soon. I've just been rambling. But yeah, no. Black Numbers by Shirk. Love that song. I asked for permission, not specifically for that song, but for like Shirk music in general, and they were super open to it. And so I've been rolling with that since. On a lot of, like, if you see like a lot of my old videos where I used to just like film a random thing and like play it in like slight slow-mo, I would put like Shirk music over it or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, it's really chill. But yeah, like, I don't know, I feel like yeah, like asking, oh, my audio's on my phone now. Asking for like permission and stuff is just generally like best practice, but you know, at the same time, if you are not like a large creator, if you're not profiting from something, a lot of people are very chill about it. If you are using a character they came up with and you're making your own 2D art of it, like, most people are going to be chill about it. They're just like, oh my god, you made fan art of my character, that's awesome. So it's like, that's, you know, it kind of, it depends on the person. Some people put like, hey, you're free to use this and whatever you want on like their artwork or whatever that they make. So like there's a good chance that you could just find things that you could use for free, like asset wise, and just roll with. But yeah, it has been a couple hours now, and I do have stuff going on later today, so I will be heading out here soon. But thank you so much if you joined me live or after the fact. Either way is cool with me as long as you had some fun. That said, I am going to go do human things as humans do, and you should too. Reminder, next Saturday I will not be streaming. I am busy, so I will not be streaming at all. There's probably going to be a couple more days like that are going to pop up, kind of heading into the like later in the spring and into summertime and whatnot. I'm going to try to see if there's any others immediately. Yeah, that's probably most of it. I might have to do a short stream on the 20th. But that's about it, honestly. I should delete the fact that I stream on Saturday. I keep everything in my calendar. like on my Google Calendar, just so that I remember things and get notifications for them. But yeah, so yeah, no stream next Saturday. At some point in the nearish future, I do want to start up a Pokemon Violet Wonderlock. So that's going to be coming eventually. But yeah. Alrighty. Goodbye. Peace. I'm leaving. I'm skedaddling. I'm bouncing. I'm running away. Going out to pick up cigarettes. Going to a farm upstate. That one's dying. That one's... I'm not dying. Yeah. Goodbye.